I went from unknown to LinkedIn authority in 120 days and now help CEOs and founders do the same. Here's the exact content system that works. But first, I want to understand your biggest challenge. CEOs and founders, what's your biggest content creation challenge right now? So let us know in the comments. And now, let me break down the exact system that's working for executives today. Point number one is authority foundation. So most founders try to be everything to everyone. So you talk about how much you love your cats, how much you love to eat, you're a foodie, all these different things, and they have a place. However, the majority of our content, you need to be focusing on being an expert in that space. So the way you do that is look at what is your industry expertise. If you're a founder or an executive, clearly you have some type of expertise. Otherwise, you wouldn't be founding this company and you wouldn't be leading this division of the company. So you want to focus on three core pillars in order to do that. And so the three core pillars are revenue pillars, and these basically drive the revenue, right? Because the content that you're talking about is stuff that you have an offer for in the back end, whether that's a service or that's a product. So the way that I think about this and how I broke mine down is I look at what am I currently doing in the industry and what have I done before the industry. So my three revenue pillars to break it down is innovative ways to generate pipeline. So I have prior experience being a salesperson and also a sales trainer. So I speak to that and how to actually get pipeline, because that's the reason why people are investing into building their own personal brands and why the company is investing in the content to get that pipeline. Second is expertise and turning that into revenue. So your expertise that you currently have right now in your brain can correlate to revenue for the company, but you have to put it out there so people see it. And then number three, for me personally, is building a creator-led business, from building a platform on LinkedIn and now turning that to an actual business asset is what I talk about for people who are looking to do the same thing. So that's a way that you can look at revenue pillars. Another way to break this down is sales calls. So what I would do is if you have recording calls, if you're doing that, an easy one to use is Fathom or something of that nature. It's free. And go and look at all your calls across the board. And then you could throw it into AI and say, hey, tell me based on these 20 calls that I put in here, what's the common theme that keeps coming up? And I actually will be able to break out the content pillars for you by doing that. So that's another insightful thing you can do. Then the company vision. How are you sharing that company vision? How are you going about it? Again, that goes back to my third pillar, the creator-led business. I'm sharing that vision of why I'm building this and what we're looking to do. And ultimately, these three content pillars will establish a clear positioning on you being an expert and not just being a random person creating content, which adds to the noise of social media, which you don't want to do. So with our foundation set, here's how you create content without it consuming your calendar. So this is the content creation system, CCS. And most executives are too busy to create daily. If I was not a content creator CEO, I would not be creating content as much, and I most likely would be having some assistance with it. So this is what we do here at AMP Agency that I run, and helping executives and founders actually create this content. And this is what I do myself, right? Because we eat our own dog food, is I pick one day to create content out of the month. One day. Now, if you want to do more and you feel so inclined, fantastic, but I just pick one day. And I've been doing this for quite some time as a full sales cycle rep while doing sales training. And again, I'm doing this today because this allows you to create a ton of content and not waste a ton of time. So now you can focus on building your business while still creating content. So doing this video shoot for an entire day, guess what kind of content you can get? Still content. So what I mean by still content is like photos, actual videos, text posts, infographics. The amount of content that's going to come out of that day is going to be so much. And again, you can do one video shoot. It will turn into 3 months of content. That's why it works. Maximum impact on minimum time. So now that you have content, you need the right team to execute. So here's exactly how you can get the right team. And now you can start your delegation. So most people try to do everything alone. As in, you know what? I'm going to do the editing. I'm going to capture my own content. I'm going to write my own posts. I'm going to do my own comments. And as I say that, you're probably getting more overwhelmed and more being like, what the heck is going on? So the play here is you want to build your content team. Now, we act as people's external team. But if you don't pick us as like a growth partner or you don't pick another agency, this is how you're going to break this out. So the first person you're going to get is a content manager role. So this is the person who is going to own your account, make sure the posts are going out as you're continuously in meetings and things of that nature. You can also have them comment on your behalf, or you can comment yourself. It's up to you and what you want to do. But this person is going to own your process and how to do that. I have someone on my team who posts my content as I'm doing other things. So the posters continuously going out there. And then I do some of the commenting as well for certain answers that need to be there as well. So that's just the main piece that I really focus on, and you all can focus on too. And another thing you can hire for is an editor. So you can contract an editor offshore, really good examples out there of what you can do. And that way you don't have to spend time editing as well. Those are just prime examples. You can get a writer too, but those are just ways that you can start starting. And then now you want to create your approval workflow. So this is videos or anything of that nature, SOPs, where you break down, here's exactly how I go about creating my content. And you want people to have a flow of an approval process so they actually feel more inclined to you being like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. Like this is how to write a post. Here's how to write a hook, right? So that's just a way of going about it. And then making sure that you have a publishing schedule every single month of what exactly you're going to do. So you can use a lot of different apps for this. You can use like a Hootsuite. We use Asana for project management. You can use Google Sheets if you want to, but there's a lot of things you can do. But what I would say is make sure you know exactly what you're posting the next month so that you can be focused. Again, maintaining quality while scaling is the purpose of this. Now that we have content creation, is really only half the battle. Here's how to stay engaged without it taking over your day. So here's point number 4, the engagement strategy. The thing is, most people post and ghost. And I understand that. It's easy to do that because you have so many things going on. That's why I tell people set at least a 15-minute daily system or after whoever your content manager, whoever posts, just to go in there and then comment. And also, if you cannot do it, find your delegate to your content manager or get a VA to comment and engage with these people at the minimum. And the most important thing is make sure that they understand your language. I prefer to do it myself because I want it to come from me. But the thing is, you want to at least make sure that someone can go out there and do that, right? Because that's going to create the engagement. And over time, I've had people do some of the replying, or I'll do all of it. It depends on the post. But I'm just saying, you can make your decision on what you want to do. I do a mix and match, like I just mentioned earlier. Sometimes I own it, sometimes I won't. But it depends on you. And then I also would encourage you to at least go look at content in the afternoon. Then that doesn't mean that you need to comment on it. Just absorb it, see how content's working, and just to check out things. Again, a consistent presence is not going to overwhelm people if you're commenting, and you want to make sure that you're there. But how do you know this is actually building authority? So let me show you what really matters when it comes to tracking this. So most people just track the wrong metrics, and you're only looking at, oh, we got a lot of impressions, but it's actually more than that. Here are the impact metrics that you want to be tracking for. Inbound opportunities, speaking invitations, media requests, are people mentioning on the call? So these are things that you can be looking for on top of website traffic as well. But you want to see, are people noticing you more overall? So I'll use myself as an example. So what I typically like to gauge on is when I go to an event and it's within my space, do people know who I am? So can I walk in a room, people say, I've seen your content before, or I've heard of you. That's a really good gauge that I'm creating good content. Or when I get on sales calls and someone's like, oh yeah, I've seen your content before, I'm familiar, whatever it may be. These are the things that I'm focused on, and this is the type of feedback that you want because it shows real authority growth when people have been consuming your content and effectively it's just at scale. So to help you implement this entire system in your business, is a strategy called the 60-day CEO Authority Blueprint. If you want to get it, you can use the link in the description. And here's what I want you to remember from this video is ultimately today, LinkedIn Authority isn't about posting everything, everywhere. It's about strategic content that positions you as the go-to expert in your space. So start implementing the system today and watch your influence grow. Make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you all next time.